According to the news, 7 innocent worshipping Israelis have been killed in a vile attack. But if you've got more than 5 minutes for a simple Google search, you'll realize...
Let me guess. 7 innocent Israeli worshippers have not been killed in a vile attack. Is that what we will realize if we Google? Okay, let's Google then. Israeli worshippers had gathered for prayer at the start of the Jewish Sabbath in a synagogue in the city's Neve Zakov neighborhood and were leaving when the gunman opened fire at about 8:15 local time. Okay, so we Google. It was 7. They were innocent. They were worshipping, returning from a synagogue. For they were Israelis. They were killed. It was a vile attack. So, are you for real, dude? Are you real or are you a fictional character? Maybe you are a cartoon. What can I say? I don't know.
According to the news, 7 innocent worshipping Israelis have been killed in a vile attack. But if you've got more than 5 minutes for a simple Google search, you'll realize it is nowhere near as simple as that. There is blatant lying going on.
To Jannah.
Firstly, what you should know that this attack took place yesterday. But the day before yesterday in a refugee camp in a place called Jenin, there was a massacre committed by Israel. And here, 10 Palestinians were killed. Now, before somebody says, no, they were bad people. Yeah, they were bad people. What about this elderly woman, mate? What are you going to say then? Shh, be quiet.
Rashida Tlaib just honoured these terrorists. They belonged to an Islamic Jihad terror cell and were killed in a gunfight with the IDF. She disgracefully called this a massacre.
So, Islamic Jihad terror cell are good people. That is what you are telling us. Because you Google. You Google, eh? Let me Google also. I mean, you are truly the oracle. Everything you say always comes... comes through, eh? Like the other time with the Taliban. From now on, I name you Dr. Hindsight. Because your superpower ability to hindsight into the future. And your superhero ability to Google. So far, you Googled and you concluded the 7 Israelis are not innocent. And the terrorists, the Islamic Jihad terrorists, are the innocent. That is what you concluded with a Google.
Once known as Jack Brolin, a reporter for the national news, the hero was born when a freak accident gave him the amazing power of extraordinary hindsight. From toxic spills to unjust wars, there is no task too large for Captain Hindsight. You see those windows on the right side? They should have built fire escapes on those windows for the higher floors, then people could have gotten down. And then on the roof, they should have built it with a more reinforced structure so a helicopter could have landed on it. Yes, of course. And then you see that building to the left? Yes, they shouldn't have built that there, because now you can't park any fire trucks where you really need to. Well, looks like my job here is done. Goodbye, everyone! Thank you, Captain Hindsight!
You're this and you're that.
Are Taliban good or bad? Now, those of you that have the attention span of a goldfish, a conclusion is going to be, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Okay, but there's so many different variables. Okay, so the media is emphasizing that the women won't be able to go to school. Yeah, they'll be drilling this in. However, it's failing to highlight that the girls are already back to school.
So the same way you predicted, because you Google, that the girls will be back in school with the Taliban. The same way you Googled then. Now you also Google and you predict things.
What about this elderly woman, mate? What are you going to say then? Shh, be quiet.
An elderly woman was killed in a gunfight of IDF soldiers with Islamic Jihad terrorists. That can only mean the Islamic Jihad terrorists are innocent. Muslims, this is how gullible this guy think you are. That you believe this kind of propositions.
Now listen to this, even the ambulance that was going to save these people was being shot at, mate. I mean, which evil, malevolent individual shoots at ambulance people? That's just weird. I mean, you don't even hear about this in the world of fiction.
If you don't hear about this, even in the world of fiction, what is rational to assume happened? Firstly, the EDF is more evil than fiction. Or there is more to the context and I am a raging anti-Semite because I'm an Islamist.
And let's see how The Guardian reported this. Oh, Palestinians say this. A way to go and discredit a fact, mate. Anybody reading this would go, huh? Palestinians say this. Well, that can't be true then. It's just a bunch of people saying it, mate. It's like somebody saying, oh, the teachers say that our school is outstanding. Who cares what the teachers say, mate? You need an outside body to come in and objectively verify that.
Okay, cartoon. Dr. Hindsight or Captain Hindsight. Now it's the time, though, to go and see how the West actually reported this incident. Okay. And then we will see how you reported the other incident. And compare. Shall we do that? Yes, let's go.
Tonight, first responders racing to a chaotic and deadly scene in East Jerusalem that police are calling a terror attack. Bodies and blood in the street and a car riddled with bullets. Israeli police say a 21-year-old Palestinian gunman opened fire near a synagogue on worshippers celebrating the Jewish Sabbath, killing at least 7 people, injuring 3 others, including a 14-year-old. The gunman, who police say was acting alone, fleeing the scene, but later shot and killed by police. NBC News producer Lawahez Jabari was driving nearby when the shots rang out.
I saw people on the ground. They left their cars and they were on the ground. I heard screaming and bullets.
The deadly rampage happening just a day after Israelis conducted what they called a counterterrorism mission. This body cam video showing Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank. 10 Palestinians were killed, sparking protests. Israel says 7 were militant, but there were also civilian casualties, including a 61-year-old woman who Palestinian authorities tell NBC News was praying inside her home when she was killed.
That was literally the first video when I Google. Yes, I also Google. Okay, so we see a very objective report. Okay, so now let's see how you reported the other incident.
7 innocent worshipping Israelis have been killed in a vile attack. But if you've got more than 5 minutes for a simple Google search, now let's get to the news that's being reported, now that you got the context. Now, if the news were doing their job, they would report it as such. Yesterday, on the 27th, there was a retaliatory attack, killing 7 illegal settlers in East Jerusalem. The United Nations Security Council Resolution 2334 affirms the illegal nature of this occupation.
You are a dark comedy. If it wasn't so grim, I would have laughed because you are a comedy. Okay, guys, look how this sociopath reports these incidents and take a glimpse if Islamists dominate this world, how they will report things. The execution of 7 random Israelis on the streets, including this boy, this 14-year-old boy, is retaliatory attack against illegal settlers that killed the innocent poor jihadis. This is what this guy thinks is an objective report of what happened. Apparently, according to Smile to Jannah, 7 random Israelis shot down in the streets, including this 14-year-old kid, are not innocent. Really. We just need to Google to understand that, eh? So, behind the happy, funny facade of Smile to Jannah is a terrorist sympathizer, clear-cut, undeniably. Okay. He believes that innocent people in the street should be executed because of his political views, like Osama bin Laden, who also said, I'm killing random people because of Palestine. The only difference is Osama bin Laden did violent jihad. Smile to Jannah is not a violent person. But they both share the same ideas. And both driven by the moral, in quote marks, priorities in Islam. Thank you.